We've had quite a few updates from the Invictus Games so far this year. From them reaching their 10-year anniversary, what a freaking milestone. Congratulations again, by the way. To the 2027 Games finding a home, to the CEO deciding to step down and find a successor. There's been a lot of change, a lot of transition, a lot of milestones, and we're going to get caught up today. So let's get started. Thank you so much for clicking on my video, and if you're returning, welcome back to my channel. Today, I am so happy to dedicate some time to talking about the Invictus Games, but also the Invictus Games Foundation. It can be easy to assume that the foundation itself centers around the games every other year. However, they provide so much aid, support, and community to military service members, veterans, and their families. So I'm always happy to amplify their voices, their work, and their progress every opportunity I get. It was also a very life-changing experience to actually attend in Dusseldorf, Germany, which if you haven't seen my journey, feel free to check out my old recaps from 2023, where you can see all about my trip, as well as my husband, when we went to Germany from America to experience the Invictus Games. It is something that I hope every squaddie has an opportunity to experience. Well, if you aren't going to Canada next year, then in 2027, if you're willing to go to the UK or if you already live there, you may have your shot at attending the Invictus Games. So we have a lot to catch up on. So I'm going to turn it over to invictusgamesfoundation.org to get the latest. In the meantime, if you haven't already, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe, share, comment, and like this video, and let's get started. I'm going to start with the news that dropped today. The Invictus Games 2027 has found a home. And although it is not what I had hoped, I am excited to come back to Europe because it's going to be in the UK, you guys. So it looks like me and the squaddies in the UK have to do some kind of meetup, some kind of lunch or brunch or something. We've got to see each other. We have got to connect. We have to come together this time. I will be there. For those of you who live there, I hope that we get to see each other finally, or at least have a seat and sit down and have a coffee or something. So we got to get something organized. And of course, if we're going to be organizing something, I got to find something to wear. So that means I got to shop. Do I have ulterior motives? Maybe, but it's all good. Let me swipe that credit card out of husband's wallet and we are on our way. Okay. No, all jokes aside, I'm excited. What I will say is this. Now that I know the games will be in the UK, I now have motivation to clean up my language surrounding Charles & Co. because I've been seeing how his horses have been ragtagging people all over the internet. And I'm not trying to get stomped out in Heathrow. Like last time when I was trying to skedaddle up out of there as fast as I could, I was like, find the gate and let's go. Don't look up at the cameras. I'll be talking shit online. I don't want to get stomped out. Get me to Germany fast. Well, now I'm not skedaddling out of town. I'm going to be there. So I'm going to have to change my language. So I'm going to start speaking in code like everybody on TikTok. Because I'm not trying to get stomped out, have a hoof in my ass. I don't want that. Have me a little horseshoe in my forehead. What I will say is this. If I do indeed get stomped out by one of the horses, just know I love horses. So I went out fighting. But send me back to my family in a little baggie. Scrape me off the ground, put me in a little baggie, and mail me back just so they can have the remnants of me. But either way, we're going to have a good time. I'm not going to let that get me down. The Invictus Games Foundation is delighted to announce the host city of the Invictus Games 2027 will be Birmingham, UK. The result was announced today at an unveiling event with Invictus Games Foundation CEO Dominic Reed, Defense Veterans Minister Al Carnes, and the Invictus Games Bid 2027 CEO Helen Hellawell at the National Exhibition Center in Birmingham. Now, Helen Hellawell is such a great name. I love that alliteration. Competing against bids from 6 cities around the world, Birmingham won the bid through its strong commitment to the welfare and recovery of service personnel and veterans. The Board of Trustees had previously shortlisted Birmingham, UK, and Washington, D.C., USA as the 2 final cities in the running for hosting the 8th Invictus Games after initial interest from 6 cities. Following presentations from both bidding teams earlier this year, the Birmingham bid was awarded the Games, highlighting the venue choice of the National Exhibition Center, the innovative new sports, and the demonstration of the bidding team of their commitment to the welfare and recovery of the international cohort of wounded, injured, and sick service personnel and veterans. The Invictus Games Birmingham 2027 will be held in July of 2027, 2 years on from the upcoming Invictus Games Vancouver Whistler 2025, taking place next year in February. Before I continue, I do want to acknowledge I'm fully aware of the concerns that so many of you have. I'm fully aware that you guys are concerned about Meghan's safety on all levels, mental, emotional, physical, from being back in the UK. I share those same concerns. We have seen how many people were saying such awful things and planning such awful things. And it is something that is in the back of my mind. But here's why I am slowly coming out of that. She's married to Prince Harry. He is not about to let anybody bother a hair on her head. Nary a hair will be bothered or be touched. Not on her head or in her head. She will have no concerns. He will protect her in all ways. I'm sure of it. But also, the Invictus Games is all about honoring military personnel, service members, veterans, etc. These are all people who are very comfortable with gunplay, and they all love and respect Harry and Meghan. No one is getting close to either of them while they're there. That's the last place you want to roll up on somebody, is when they're surrounded by friends of theirs who just happen to have served in the military globally. They're not going to be bothered one way or the other, whether it's paparazzi, whether it's people with a nasty agenda, whether it's derangers, whether it's the royals themselves. They're going to watch themselves because they're surrounded by a whole lot of people who know how to protect and serve and will happily do so. So I'll say this, have your moment if you need it. But let's not focus on that. Let's have a good time, because I trust the decisions of Harry, Meghan, and their teams. And it just needs to end there for me. But please, by all means, go through your process. Lord Allen, chair of the Invictus Games Foundation, said, quote, "Congratulations to Birmingham. The trustees were very taken by the depth of passion in the bidding team, the experience they brought to the planning and preparations, and to the concept of the NEC as a one-site games. Our thanks go to the team behind the Washington, D.C. bid, who were able to demonstrate the city could be a fantastic location for the future. As the foundation looks to the next 10 years, we're excited about the games pipeline we are building, and for the next 10 years of Invictus." Woohoo! I know I am. The Duke of Sussex, patron of the Invictus Games Foundation and founder, said, quote, "Congratulations to Birmingham, UK on winning the bid to host the Invictus Games 2027. Your city's strong ties to the armed forces community made it a formidable contender for the very start. Over the years, we've seen each city bring a unique spirit and vision to the life for competitors, their families, and spectators. We have no doubt the people of Birmingham will join in celebrating the unwavering respect and admiration we have for our veteran and service community, showing the world how their courage ignites hope and unites us all, something your city knows well." As part of the announcement by the Invictus Games Foundation, a flag-raising ceremony attended by the newly appointed Minister for Veterans and People, the RT Honorable Al Carnes, OBE-MC, will be held on the morning of the 23rd of July at the NEC, the site of the Invictus Games Birmingham 2027. This will be followed by a demonstration of some of the new sports from the games, pickleball and laser run, with former competitors from the Invictus Games. That is so exciting! Minister for Veterans and People Al Carnes said, quote, "The Invictus Games harness the power of sport to supercharge the recovery and rehabilitation of military personnel and veterans. Our exceptional armed forces make countless acts of courage and selflessness in their duties, and we will always support wounded, injured, and sick personnel and veterans. The Invictus Games are just one way we offer lasting support to personnel and veterans facing illness or injury." Stephen Hoops Hooper, Team UK captain for the Invictus Games Vancouver Whistler 2025, said, quote, "It's awesome that the Invictus Games is coming to Birmingham. This will mean the world to Team UK, not only so their friends and family can watch them compete, but so the British public can cheer them on. Birmingham is a special place for wounded, injured, and sick service personnel and veterans, as they all come through here at some point. With support from the Royal British Legion for Team UK, Invictus has helped embrace life again. As we prepare for Canada next year, it's great to know the games are coming home in 2027. Nearby connections to the site of the Invictus Games Birmingham 2027 include the Queen Elizabeth Hospital, which receives and treats wounded, injured, and sick service personnel and veterans, the Royal College of Defense Medicine, which trains UK clinicians, and the Defense Medical Rehabilitation Center, Stanford Hall, a world-class military rehabilitation asset. Helen Hellawell, CEO of the Invictus Games Birmingham 2027, said, quote, "I am honored our bid has been selected, bringing the Invictus Games back to the UK. At NEC Birmingham, we'll host the most cohesive, sustainable event in the Invictus Games history with all sports, ceremonies, and accommodation on one fantastic site. Beyond the Games, our legacy programs will benefit communities nationwide, from adaptive sports to arts and employment." Of course, all of this fun and exciting news comes on the heels of some bittersweet news. The current CEO of the Invictus Games Foundation, Dominic Reed, OBE, is stepping down as the CEO after a whoppingly successful 10-year run. They have done so much, and I hate to see their team change in any way. They are such a well-oiled machine, but I fully trust everyone associated with Invictus, and I know that they're going to continue to rise and shine and get better and improve. And I'm just happy to watch and observe. Dominic Reed is also helping to choose his successor if he's not choosing them on his own in general. And so I know that the person who takes this position will also do a wonderful job. I trust everyone there on that team. I'm just sad to see any changes. It's just been so wonderful to see Invictus continue to grow. And so it makes me so nervous when anybody behind the scenes changes, but I know that they're doing so in good faith and everyone is doing a wonderful job. So let's read the statement that's from Invictus Games CEO Dominic Reed, and it's currently on the Invictus Games Foundation website. A statement from Dominic Reed, OBE, CEO of the Invictus Games Foundation. The Invictus Games have achieved an enormous amount since their inception in London of 2014. They have grown from a good idea borrowed into an international sporting event and a globally recognized brand in only 10 years. Many lives have been changed and saved by the work we have done, staging 6 Invictus Games around the world and delivering an important program of adventures and challenges beyond the games, for which demand continues to grow through our groundbreaking We Are Invictus app. When we started, we had hoped that it would be a one-off event, but the unstable geopolitical landscape we now inhabit makes it vital that our work continues well into the future, as more and more service personnel are wounded every day. Our global community continues to demonstrate the impact of Invictus across the world. We have established legacy programs with Invictus Australia and Invictus Germany. The Netflix series Heart of Invictus showed the competitor journey and the experience of Team Ukraine at the Invictus Games The Hague 2020. Last month, Germany adopted a National Veterans Day for the first time, in no small part due to the hosting of the Invictus Games Dusseldorf 2023. Wow. I am pleased to have set the foundation as a solid footing and to have built an outstanding team which is drawn in part from the community we serve. It has been a privilege to work closely with Prince Harry to deliver his vision of an international sporting event for those who have served and for their families and friends. His concept, passion, and drive have been instrumental in our success, in particular by focusing attention on mental health and sports rehabilitation. It has been an honor to build and work with an incredible, dedicated, and high-functioning team whom I count as friends and not just colleagues, and to establish and develop this global movement which now has 23 member nations and a presence on every continent. My part in delivering those inaugural games in London 2014, establishing the Invictus Games Foundation, and building a community changing the lives of thousands of competitors, veterans, and service personnel and their family members and friends around the world will always be a source of great pride and satisfaction. It is the pinnacle of a life's work with veterans, which began in 1995 with Tribute and Promise, which marked the 50th anniversary of VJ Day, and had its roots in my military service, which started when I was commissioned in 1981, moved into reserve service, and finished with my appointment as an honorary colonel. But after 10 years at the helm, and as we celebrate our 10th anniversary and prepare for the first winter hybrid games at Vancouver Whistler 2025, which will bring together our traditional core sports with the addition of some winter sport, now is the time for someone new to take this vital movement forward into its second vigorous decade. With a fantastic pipeline of host city bids and including the very soon to be announced Invictus Games 2027, it promises to be more dynamic and impactful than ever before. The search for my successor will be an important one, and I know that it will produce an outstanding new champion for the international community of the wounded, injured, and sick. I look forward to passing the baton to them and to continuing to support this great movement. Once a member of the Invictus family, you never leave. I just wanted to take a super short break to say, if you have not already, please don't forget to go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel, and if you are interested, feel free to participate in the live chat going on now, or feel free to leave a comment if you do not wish to engage in the live chat. Once again, I know I do this all the time. I'm enjoying a channel, I'm enjoying the video, I'm just having a great time, and I completely forget to hit subscribe. So please don't forget to hit subscribe. Don't forget to comment if you wish, and please don't forget to hit that thumbs up button so that the algorithm on YouTube knows that you like my content. Now, let's get back to the show. It is wonderful to continue to watch the Invictus Games Foundation continue to evolve and just take shape in so many different areas. Not only does it deliver an amazing sporting event every other year, which by all means, if you can, please try and attend. It is a life-changing experience. But I'm going to be live tweeting and live reporting from Canada as well as the UK, if the Lord says the same. So you'll be getting some updates, but I hope you get to attend and show up and support and give the games those numbers and those spectators and just feel that energy and have that experience. I promise you it is personally rewarding, and I am going to everyone that I possibly can from here on out. However, in addition to seeing it continue to evolve and grow and just become this behemoth of a brand that everyone wants to be associated with, everyone wants to be affiliated with, because they're doing such great work, but they also provide so many amazing services for military service personnel and veterans, service members, but also their families and friends. For example, like I said before, I'm a groundbreaker for Fisher House Foundation. They're an organization that provides housing and transportation and community and even food for the families of service personnel or veterans who have been hospitalized in a veterans hospital. That is amazing. They've saved families over $600 million by providing this service. And so if you haven't watched my most recent live stream from last Friday, please check it out, where I go in depth about the Fisher House Foundation, but we're currently running a fundraiser. So if you have the time, feel free to go check out that live stream from Friday and donate to the fundraiser, or go to Fisher House Foundation website and donate there. But I'm always happy to uplift and support and advocate for these organizations that take care of such an amazing community of people that literally protect our human rights and freedoms. If anyone is deserving of the adoration, the support, and the spirited applause loudly, it's this community, as well as their families who support them in their amazing work. So thank you once again to the Invictus Games Foundation, to Dominic Reed, but also to Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex, for founding the Invictus Games Foundation and the Invictus Games, but also for being such an amazing patron and advocate for military service personnel, veterans, and their families. We need more like you, and I hope it continues to spread and gain awareness and more people get on board. So that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you haven't already, please feel free to go ahead and like this video, subscribe, share, and I will see you next time. Bye. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the SharionSade podcast.